Hello everyone and happy Friday. Before we share my analysis from these last few days, please remember that neither I nor the SIMETRI team from Crypto Briefing are licensed financial advisors. What we provide is not a personalized investment advice. It is merely our opinions based on our various research and diligence. As always, do your own research before making any decisions about buying or selling crypto.
If we have a look now at the key technical update for Bitcoin, 57,000 is without a doubt is the big downside level to watch. If we start to crack 57,000, then the market could very, very quickly come off, and I would expect 55 and 53,000 to be tested. If we have a look at the weekly pivot point, we are some way below there at 65.08. The monthly pivot point is going to be another key testing point for the market. So if we get below the monthly pivot point, bear in mind, if we are currently starting to see the market turning negative below the monthly and the weekly pivot point, then that will be a turning point for sentiment in the market. And I suspect we could head somewhat lower very quickly. And to the upside, 62,000 it's very much a key turning point for the market. So once we started to lose that earlier this week, then Bitcoin started to come off heavily. And again, 64.9, former all-time high. That's the other big resistance level to watch. So again, key downside targets, immediate downside targets to watch if 57,000 breaks. Watch out for 55 and 53. Daily price closes below 62,000, as we have been seeing, is a bearish signal for more losses. So let's get to Bitcoin. As we've been looking over the last couple of weeks, this big trend line in the market. This is the big one that I was looking at, the higher one here. So former all-time high attached to former all-time high. We didn't quite get up there, but we did have this other trend line that was attached to quite a significant candle, and we started to turn lower from there. So there's a lot of theories about where we might be going, but something that I am looking at is this key up trend line here. That comes in around 51,000. I'm seeing a lot of numbers today pointing towards around 51,000. It might be too deep, and we've been looking for 53,000 for some time. But there's certainly something to watch out for. And here, just very simplistically, I've got the 50-day moving average. If we start to lose that, expect more selling pressure to come into the market. I don't really believe that we can get down towards around 47. I would say it's highly unlikely in my analysis that we're going to get towards maybe 47 or 45. I don't see it a big drop down there, but you never know with the MT Gox event what's going to happen, to be honest with you. So something that I am seeing that is a good sign for the bears, and we can see my secret weapon, the Williams alligator indicator. We can see it here. We're starting to weaken underneath there, and that's been a very, very negative sign in the past. So as you can see, we're moving below the blue, the red, and the final line of resistance there. And I guess the support area to watch is the 50-day moving average. So the fact that we're weakening underneath this indicator is generally been a very, very bad sign in the past. And if we look on a historical basis, after we've been in a strong uptrend, what happens when we start to move under the Williams alligator indicator? We see this period of consolidation and then potentially a big drop off, and maybe fatally here a larger drop off. I do suspect that we might see something like that, and then an attempt at a recovery. I don't foresee a big price collapse at the moment, and I think we do have to bear in mind that there is some negative divergence in the market on the momentum indicator. And that is currently extending down to 51,000. I did mention that there is a rising trend line in the market around 51,000 earlier. So that's definitely an area to watch out for. If we do see a decline in Bitcoin, that would be really a premium buying area, in my opinion. Also, bear in mind as well, 51,000 again comes up here, and it's really the start of the divergence on the daily active address activity here. We can see this should be rising, but it's been falling along here. And previously, and I think we've touched upon this in past webinars, these type of on-chain divergences have almost been perfectly reversed before. And again, this comes in around 51,000. So that's something to keep your eyes out on, a pull down to that area. Again, it could be a premium buying spot. And the fact that we haven't seen a spike in token age consumed, that is a positive at the moment. And if we did see a large spike around 51,000, then that could be a big, big clue that that would be a turning point for the market. So let's break it down. So we are hoping for a move down towards potentially 53 or even lower to 51, and then a big reversal in the market. On-chain data is currently showing few signs of distress. I think the opportunity cost for not attempting longs around 53 to 51,000 could be quite significant, as I suspect a lot of people have been waiting to get in the market. So negative technical and on-chain divergences offer hope of a correction for sure, and a sustained move below, I would say, 47,000 would be a big concern, although that's not my primary I would say that's not my primary scenario. I'm much more looking forward to 53 or 51 as being a key turning point for the market if we get that low. So let's have a look at Ethereum now in greater detail. So very interesting stuff happening on chain. We can see a massive spike here in tokenized consume. The only thing that I would add is that we have done some blockchain analysis, and the primary movement appears to be from some Kraken wallets. So we don't know what's going on there. So it might not be the big concern that I think some people have with this spike, but I will note that Ethereum has come off significantly since that spike happened. So that is something to note. And again, this big trend line in the market, I keep drawing your attention to it from various different cryptos, have something similar. So former all-time high to former all-time high. Look at that almost perfectly. And from that line there, maybe even $1,000 decline almost coming in from that trend line. So the fact that we failed there is not a good sign. Although the only good thing that did happen last week is this large head and shoulders pattern has been invalidated, and the target is coming in at around $7,000. So hopefully, if we can get this correction over with, then we can start to push much higher. But I think at the moment, we do have to be mindful of a larger correction in Ethereum. If you look at dormant circulation, you can see a lot of coins that haven't moved in a long time or also spiked heavily, like the token age SIMETRI this week. So again, that could be a worry. And I will just draw your attention back to the blockchain analysis, which shows 4 Kraken wallets, potentially owned by Kraken. And we can see here exchange inflows haven't spiked. So that could be, again, a positive sign here. And it may be something going on with the Kraken exchange. If we have a look at the weekly chart here, we've been looking at this wedge pattern. So I think the most obvious idea here is that even though we've moved up a new all-time high, invalidated this head and shoulders pattern, we might come back and test a wedge, or even fall slightly lower and test this trend line, much like the Bitcoin chart that I've just showed you. So this looks what the market is primed to do. Any pullbacks, I guess, towards 4.4 for swing traders, that's a key resistance area to watch. So if we can't get past there, the chances of moving back towards this area are quite high. And I think it's just the obvious play in the market, because I think the market is also looking at this wedge pattern. I will draw your attention to the fact that there is, again, momentum divergence going on here, and it extends down to around 3.4. I can imagine a lot of people are very, very keen to buy Ethereum, and they may be jumping in around 3.7 or even as high as 4,000 on this correction. I guess depending on your tolerance for pain and drawdown, that maybe that's not a bad thing, but I will say that you've got this negative divergence extending maybe quite a lot lower than people expect. So do bear that in mind. Okay, so let's break down Ethereum in a summary. So Ethereum could be headed back towards the former triangle breakout area. A loss of the wedge could cause heavy technical selling towards 3,400. Bearish momentum divergence may be about to be fully reversed. A massive head and shoulders pattern has recently been invalidated, so the bigger picture is really predicting a move towards 7,000. Recent Ethereum on-chain data is potentially warning of a significant market move.
And thank you. I hope you found my thoughts helpful. If you'd like more, please click the subscribe button for Pro BTC Trader and join me every week on Wednesdays for our live trading war room and daily email updates.